let's get into the actual like the operations and the process piece of it. I'm just gonna do a rapid fire. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, okay? All right, at the bank, was the process fast?
No.
Okay, no. At the bank, did you have like a coaching platform outside of David maybe, but like an official coaching platform?
No.
No. All right. How about like a loan officer assistant that is quote unquote dedicated to you, or work, helps you work a good amount of your own deals and you're comfortable with, and the same one? No. Okay. That's so kind of go into that, and I bring that up because if you're on this call and you work at Movement, or if you don't work at Movement, or if you're struggling at Movement and such, these are all things that I think these guys in their own business have been able to use, and tools that they've been able to use. They've already spoke to this as like having your tool chest, but it's also, if you're not at Movement, these are things you're just flat out missing out on. And are any of those, and you're not able to go to your referral partners with hey, our process is really good, and I'm not, or with coaching, I don't have an accountability partner at the bank, but I have someone to kind of keep me accountable and give me ideas and scripts and whatnot here. So have there been any of those? Choose one of the three, whether process or coaching or LOA. Which of those do you think has really just boosted your business to maybe get you to this next level where both of you are going to shatter personal records again? Mark, you can kind of lead us off here.
So definitely on the process piece of it. I would say that when I was at the bank, I had to work so hard and push so hard to try to mimic what people at Movement were doing. And like that was like the only way you could protect these relationships. You had to be so on top, and you had to be so far ahead of everything. And it just, that was a lot of stress in and of itself. And you come over here, and the stuff that we're able to do in such a shorter period of time is just shocking. If something gets behind, or if there's an issue or a rush deal, you can make things happen. And so a lot of times what I do, rather than just say 671 or the process, I tell stories of deals that were saved. I tell stories of stuff that happened on the spur of the moment. And to tie to that, the reality behind it is that you have so much access to the processors, to the underwriters, to talk to the lead underwriter. And there is a sense that they are all working to try to find some solution, where a lot of times in banks and other situations, they've got their own job, they're doing underwriting, they don't really care whether the deal falls through or not. Or you get that sense sometimes. There's not that sense of urgency behind it, where Movement's culture is set up to drive everything towards helping out the loan officer and helping out that client, and the sense that there is a relationship on the line that could cost tens of thousands of dollars if this deal doesn't go through or we don't do our best job.
That's great. Here's like a Movement Kool-Aid disclaimer here. Everyone at the company, if you're not a loan officer, we say we work for the loan officer. That could be David, who's the manager. That could be Chris Shelton in our region, who's our regional director. That could be all the way up to Casey Crawford, right, our CEO. And it's not just something we say that sounds good to people who need to hear it. It's a reality. Everyone, if you're not a loan officer, you work for the loan officer. So thanks for speaking into that, Mark. I appreciate it. How about you, Reed, as far as process or having access to an LOA or coaching is kind of one of those? And it could be the process that you don't have to not use process, because that's what Mark did, but that's important. Has there been, one driving thing that's kind of helped you from a support level to get to where you are?
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to my LOA. You're fantastic. But the process is the big driving force for me, to piggyback on what Mark said. And to kind of follow your sports theme, speed kills, in my opinion. So I think you can literally model your entire business off of just our process, because we can just do deals that other people can't. You can go to realtors And you don't have to compete with banks because you can tell them you can close a purchase in 20 days. And it's not uncomfortable. It's not breakneck speed. It's a good experience for the client. It's just more efficient process. My whole business is basically predicated on getting my foot in the door with a realtor and then doing such a good job on the back end that they have no choice but to continue to send me business. And the way that I do that again is through like stress relief for clients and for realtors. So if I get a contract in on a Monday morning and I can have an appraisal ordered and actually have the loan approved through underwriting by, Tuesday afternoon, it alleviates all the stress. The client knows where they stand. We're good from a due diligence standpoint. And the process that allows us to do that with movement, where you've got underwriters picking up files 3, 4, 5 hours after you submit them. We're not sending them to a processor for 2 or 3 days like we would at the bank. Then you wait for them to send it to the underwriter, and you wait another 2 or 3 days before the underwriter picks it up. It's just all very condensed, very consolidated, and much more efficient. And I feel like it makes it that much easier to sell to people. Because you deal with first-time home buyers, the stress is high. You deal with people selling and buying at the same time, the stress is high. Realtors are always stressed. It's just one of those things where it's a great look if you can utilize the process to just make life easier on people, and that goes a long way, and is from what I can tell.